Hello everyone. The Explorer started to have issues running on idle or even driving with petrol. Engine started to switch off while idling and driving. There is noticeable jerking off on engine. Therefore was forced to look for the issue and try to resolve it. Went through basic checks and ruled out spark plugs, ignition coil, compression and found strange behavior in fuel system. Fuel pressure was pulsating while engine running. At first, changed fuel filter, fuel pressure regulator. Sadly, it didn't help. Obviously, next step is to change fuel pump. But to access it, whole fuel tank has to be removed. Good times. Started with removal of rear left wheel for fuel pump connector and one of the holder's axis. Too bad didn't wash Ford before this repair. Oh well. Here you can see holder and fuel pump wires. And when fuel filler has to be removed, cause it would hold fuel tank and interfere with removal process. After basic preparations, it's time to remove fuel tank skid plate, which weighs a lot. It is made from thick metal and of course is full of wet mud. Just few bolts to unscrew and it drops down. This top corner does not need to be removed. It's one of those times when at first you remove a part and later understand how unnecessary it was. When all nuts and bolts are removed, skid plate slides out easily by pushing it to vehicle's back. Such a lovely place. It's good that skid plate made from thick metal, otherwise it would be rusted away long time ago. Now it's time to unscrew fuel tank holder and it can be dropped down. Luckily fuel lines are made long enough to reach ground without tension. This place also has some nature gifts. Fuel lines are connected with quick connectors, which can be removed with specific tool. Well, I do not have one. Therefore, had to cut some plastic into thin, about 5 mm parts and push them inside connection. Plastic helped to release holders and fuel lines could be disconnected. All that left is straightforward work. Moved fuel tank from Ford for better access and removed fuel pump holder. This ring that needs to be tapped to left side. Fuel pump looked normal. Just connector wires was squeezed a little bit. Therefore had to inspect them. Lucky for me, wires weren't damaged at all. Fuel tank from inside also doesn't look bad. Lucky for me it is made from plastic, therefore only needed some rinsing with petrol and it was good to go. Checked the condition of wires cause this armor was squeezed. Of course, I would recommend to change whole sending unit, but mine was changed only 3 years ago, therefore decided to gamble a little bit and change only fuel pump with filter. Sadly, managed to fail filming fuel pumps change on the sending unit, but it's simple. Remove old part and install new one process. Hardest part is to access sending unit itself. Fuel pump is ready for install. Moving on, changed sending unit's rubber gasket into new one and installed them into fuel tank. Painted unit's holder so it could hold for another 3 years and wouldn't dissolve into rust. Locked fuel pump by tapping ring to right side. This time put cables into holders to avoid unnecessary squeeze for them. I just can't tell how nice it is that this tank is made from plastic. Time to clean and paint skid plate. We do not want for this metal to lose its strength. Removed all dirt, painted with rust binder and left them to dry. Later painted skid plate with anti-gravel stone chip paint, and it was time to put fuel tank back in place. Connected fuel lines, both are different in size, which is nice, because you don't need to worry to mix them. Fuel tank holder. Managed to install only one, not both. Later, this mistake made a little headache. Fuel filler and breather connection is easy, just accessibility isn't there, but all is manageable. Proudly putting fuel tank back into its place, and do not understand that one of the holders are missing. You can notice on the right side where it should be. Skid plates time. It is not that hard to install it, only problem is weight of the thing. At least now it's almost 5 kilos lighter after all mud is removed. Aha, noticed that one of the holders are missing. Had to unscrew fuel tank holder to be able to install it. Good times. Installing skid plate for the second time. The more times you do it, the easier it is to install it. All the nuts and bolts are screwed into their place. Time to check if engine can start. Pumped fuel into system by turning key few times and now it's ready to start. Good job! Engine started right away. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.